Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you. I thought I would talk about what it's been like now, 7 weeks of really trying to learn Swedish, working in a Swedish environment. How's it going? So this one's going to be hitting a little bit of a rough patch, and what I mean by that is I feel like my Swedish and language learning has been going really good. My mind has been working really, really good. I began a course in Swedish because I took this Swedish test for Folk University. I've never taken SFE. I decided to take a real course, so I took Folk University. It was B1 level, but the last lesson for B1 until you go to B2. If you're not sure what that is, the European Framework of Languages goes from A1, it goes A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. A1 and A2 are like getting a grasp of the language. B1 and B2 are intermediate, and then C1 is like considered fluency, like the C1 to C2 levels. So, in a sense, then getting out of B1 into B2 was pretty good. I took a test and saw that my grammar was B1 level, but my listening and understanding I tested out of B1 completely, and they said I should be in B2 according to the test. But when I went to the class the first day, the teacher, because they didn't know us, gave me a grammar test, and it was really stressful because I've been learning Swedish through my program on Babbel.com. And I understand grammar somewhat. Like, I know that I have problems with grammar too sometimes when I structure sentences, because the way I learn Swedish is I think of what I want to say sometimes in English and just say it in Swedish. And if I can't think of a word I don't know, I use the word in between. So I'm learning how this class personally works, but when the teacher said we were going to take like a pre-test in language, I thought, okay, cool, it's going to be reading, it's going to be all these different parts. It was only grammar. And it was about so it was only grammar, and the directions were all in Swedish. So even though I had learned words in Swedish, I haven't learned words like compare, contrast, underlined, like these certain things that you're just used to seeing. And then all the different forms of a word, like it'd say genitive or it said a reflexive verb. I don't think about it so much in my own language because I've been bad at grammar in English as well. I read things and understand things. So I began the first lesson taking a test outside, and when we were outside taking it, I didn't understand any of the directions. And then I had started studying the lesson that said we were going to start with in my Swedish book, like we were supposed to start on chapter 10. And so I worked on chapter 10 for like 2 hours before that. And then I took this test, and I thought that the teacher was already teaching ahead and that I was going to start there behind. Anyways, took the test. Then the next class came, and she asked me to change courses. And the frustrating thing was I felt like I did okay, actually, in the B1 Level 2 course. I understand my grammar was weak, but my plan was to just kind of challenge myself with the speaking and stuff, and then learn some of the grammar things I need to fix. But anyways, after a long discussion with the teacher, they decided to offer B1 level 1, so I was in B1 level 4, I guess, like the last step in B1, so I've had to go back, which kind of felt bad. I felt like I was getting demoted. What I feel like now in this course is I am learning the grammar stuff, but I feel like the level of speaking maybe, and speaking comprehension and understanding has gone way down to where it was. I felt like I could handle myself quite well in that class, but sometimes, I have to be honest, like, I feel like if a teacher thinks that you're not going to make it, it's better to switch because maybe, I don't know, I'm not saying the teacher's like that. I think the teacher's a good teacher, but I just think that sometimes when a teacher can have like an idea like this person is not going to make it, and then just they're always going to look for what you're doing wrong. Anyways, as I mentioned in my previous video, I was also feeling quite stressed because this taking the Swedish course for some reason, I don't feel like this now, but I was feeling like all this unrealistic expectations I'm putting on myself just sitting there studying Swedish. Folk University uses this Riv Start book here and exercises. And the thing is, because I haven't really learned a second language properly, I haven't learned like a lot of these forms in grammar, like the indefinite, the definite, all these different things, and you know how verbs and nouns and just all the technical terms for that. So it's difficult, but then I realized switching the course, everything I just said, maybe the teacher has the best intentions for me and just wants me to learn the language correctly. And although it might take me a little longer to get to B2, maybe I could have made it all the way to B2, fine. This way I can learn it properly, and maybe it's going to take me a year to get through B1 and to get into B2, and I just need to do that. So I got switched to B1 level 1. at the same time, I'm not stressing so much to learn the things I need to fix. It is really at a level where it's a little bit easier for me. So I guess that part's cool. We're gonna do 3 or 4 chapters out of this book, and I'm feeling all right. And I went from maybe having to work really hard in the other class to being probably in this group I'm in now. I'm probably the number 1 or number 2 student in the course as we start, as far as level wise goes. So although I would have liked more of a challenge, I think the nice thing is that at my job I can speak Swedish every day. So that's the first thing. So I just started this course again this week, the course that's at the different level, but I think it's good. But also, I noticed this week as well that over Sportlov, I didn't really train Swedish or do anything because I just needed to take a break. And I regretted a little bit just not doing some things because, like, yeah, I watched maybe a Swedish show here or there, but I can tell you after a week of not really practicing much, I feel like I lost so much Swedish. So my first week back after Sportlov has been a challenge. I found myself speaking a lot more English. I found myself having a much harder time to form sentences that I wanted to say in my head, and I found it a lot harder to understand others. It's amazing how much I lost in just a week of not speaking every day, because I realize now when I go home in the summer, man, it's going to be really tough. Now, the good news is I think that taking a week off, it's probably going to take me 2 weeks to get back to where I was. And so I've started practicing every day. I did begin my course last week because I had a week break from my Swedish course as well. So I got 5 weeks of Swedish there. So that's 5 hours a week plus what I have been doing. So sometimes I think in life you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. It's a famous quote, or sometimes to go forward you have to take a step back and then we can take 2 steps forward. So I think that's where I am right now. I'm staying positive. I can do another video here where I speak Swedish again. Now I'm thinking in my head a lot more what I want to say correct grammar-wise. Like if I'm going to say, give an example, like with, I guess, adjectives, like store means big, and like I might say en stor cup, or ett stort land, många stora hus. So I'm thinking more about how to use adjectives and nouns and how to say the correct grammar instead of just saying it. I probably would just say like ett stort hus if I didn't know the rules. And now that I know the rules, it kind of sounds funny to me in my head the way some of this stuff works. So if you're anyone out there learning a language and, is there things I could be doing better? I'm sure of it, but I just want to say don't stress so much because this is all part of the process. Me, what I'm going through now, that's just part of the language learning process. So I'm staying positive. I'll catch back with you guys in a couple weeks about my language process, but I just realized over this year there's going to be times where I'm feeling really good or bad. And the difference between now and any time before is I'm in a challenging environment and I'm taking a class in Swedish. And depending on where that level is, I think, like even in what I talked about, it's like when you're learning a language, you're going to be good at some things and not good at others. And that's why maybe it's not a bad idea to be at a little bit easier course and learn some of the things together. So I just want to make it clear, like I'm not complaining about the teacher I had or anything like that. I'm just explaining the emotions I kind of felt during this setting. So I hope you guys liked this one. If you did, feel free to give me a thumbs up. All the way, we're doing a monthly giveaway with Pausebox. Pausebox is a monthly snack service. It's a Swedish company. It's run by an American who lives in Sweden. If you want to support a small business, you can win a monthly Pausebox if you join. We're going to do the giveaway this month. But if you just want to be a part of it, or if you want to try it, it's a subscription service where you get snacks to your house. It's awesome. If you have a family or a loved one you want to share this with as a gift, it's a cool, awesome idea. He also has licorice, like a licorice box where you get licorice treats from all around the world. If it's something you feel cool and you want to check it out, there's a coupon code below. You can use my name, Andrew, there, and you're going to get 50 crowns off your order. All right, guys, if you like this one, feel free to give me a like. If you're new to the channel, would love to have you subscribe. You got to subscribe if you want to be part of the monthly giveaway, and join and follow me on Instagram. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take care.